Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're doing something maybe a little unexpected. Forget the usual reports, the data analysis. We're actually diving headfirst into children's books, specifically the BC Adventures for Kids series by K. Warren Duff, all 13 of them.
Sounds fun, right?
Yeah.
But there's more to it. We're treating these not just as stories, but almost like, well, like blueprints for living ethically, thinking about nature, building communities in surprising ways.
Exactly. Our mission here is to kind of pull out those core ideas, the stuff that makes this series stick with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the setting, British Columbia, the big, wild, beautiful mountains. And our main guy is Silas, a woodsman. Pretty quiet life, until he meets his animal friends. Borealis the Moose Calf, Barney the bear, oh, and Squeaky the squirrel. Can't forget Squeaky.
Right, and that BC wilderness, it's not just scenery, it's almost alive in the stories. It dictates how they survive, how they have to, cooperate. Duff packages these big social ideas, kindness, community into these like survival puzzles for kids aged 4 to 10. So you're not just told be kind. You see why it's necessary when, say, a river floods.
That's a great point. It makes the morals feel earned, not just lectured. So let's start at the beginning. Books 1 and 2. How does this unusual family even form? Duff had to build these bonds, right? Between a human, a moose, a bear, a squirrel. That's tricky.
It is. It starts with book 1, Borealis the Moose Calf. Silas finds him, lost, scared, weak, and Silas, this solitary guy, steps up, becomes a caregiver.
Yeah, and it's more than just, cute animal. It feels like it's about real responsibility, vulnerability even. Silas doesn't just get a pet. It's like they immediately depend on each other.
Totally. And choosing a moose calf, that's key. Moose are huge and very dependent when young. They're fundamentally wild animals. So Silas has to completely change his life, his space. It tests his selflessness right away. You can't just put out food. He has to figure out how to, understand this moose. It immediately redefines family as who you care for.
Okay, so that bond is set. Silas and Borealis. Then what? Book 2 comes along.
Yeah.
Bear who borrowed a blanket.
Right. And now this comfortable little unit of 2 has to deal with Barney the bear. Barney's introduced as grumpy, maybe a bit selfish, borrowing this blanket, a human thing, for his winter sleep.
Okay, so the first newcomer isn't sweet and helpless. He's difficult. What's the lesson there for a kid about welcoming others?
Well, it's a different kind of empathy, isn't it? It's one thing to help the lost little moose calf. It's much harder to find compassion, maybe even creativity, for the grumpy neighbor who's kind of invading your space. And they don't just chase him off. Silas and Borealis actually figure out how to help him find a proper den. So the takeaway is, community isn't just about liking everyone. It's about seeing needs, even in tricky characters, making room, literally and, emotionally.
That makes a lot of sense. So you've got this mixed group now. Human, moose, bear, established. Then Duff throws nature at them, right? The raw power of BC. Let's talk about books 3 and 5, resilience, problem solving.
Yeah, this is where the teamwork really gets tested. Book 3, The River That Ran Away. Things shift from, social dynamics to a direct environmental threat. A nice little creek suddenly turns into this raging river. Chaos.
And the specific problem, the thing that makes it real for a kid, is Squeaky the squirrel losing all his acorns. His winter food supply, gone.
Exactly. The stakes feel personal, immediate. But the solution is where Duff's genius really shows, I think. They have to build a dam. And it's not just Silas being the clever human. It's a total group effort. Each one brings something unique.
How so? What does each one do?
Well, Silas probably has the plan, maybe does some cutting. But Borealis, the moose, he's got the size and strength to move big logs. Barney the bear, he can use his claws and bulk to shift earth, anchor things. And Squeaky, he's small and fast. He can scout, check the little crevices, make sure the base is secure. They only succeed because all their different skills, the things that usually separate them, are suddenly crucial together.
Wow, okay. So it's like a mini lesson in project management, almost. Every role matters. Even the smallest contribution is vital for the group's survival.
Precisely. It's a powerful argument against going it alone when facing big challenges, especially environmental ones. And they need that spirit again, but differently. In Book 5, The Whispering Wind.
This one feels a bit different, more lyrical. Almost mystical with the wind being a character. The wind is described as playful, but it accidentally knocks a bird's nest with eggs out of a tree.
Right. The damage isn't intentional. It's just nature happening.
Yeah.
An accident. But look at the scale of the crisis. Book 3 was a flood, big survival stuff. Book 5 is about tiny. I think Duff is suggesting you have to listen to nature, the whispering wind guiding them. It's a subtle way of saying, pay attention to the environment's cues, its rhythms, even the nonverbal stuff. You need to listen for those quiet voices, whether it's a moose calf, a grumpy bear, or the wind to really understand what needs doing.
Listening, paying attention, taking responsibility. That leads us really nicely into the next pair of books, 4 and 6. Here, the focus seems to shift again. Less about immediate crisis, more about, well, bigger ideas, protection, community meaning.
Definitely. The stakes become more philosophical. Take book 4, Silas and the Secret Meadow. They follow these forest whispers again and find this incredible hidden meadow. It's described as glowing, magical, pristine.
Okay, sounds amazing, but what's the challenge? Finding it sounds like the reward.
But the challenge isn't finding it. It's knowing about it. It brings a responsibility. The question becomes, how do you protect something this special, this perfect, from the outside world? It forces Silas and his friends to think about stewardship versus, say, ownership or exploitation.
So it's an ethical dilemma. Do they share it? Keep it secret?
Exactly. They realize showing it off could ruin it.
Yeah.
But hiding it means they have to actively guard it. Duff uses this beautiful, almost magical setting to teach respect for nature's own value. The meadow isn't just for them. Their job is to cherish it, protect it. It's about reverence, really, and restraint.
Wow. Choosing not to do something is the main challenge. That's quite sophisticated for a young audience, isn't it?
It really is. And it sets the stage for Book 6, The Great Mountain Feast. This one feels like it ties everything together.
How so? It sounds like a celebration.
It is, but it's a celebration of everything they've learned and built. It's like the culmination. The seasons are changing, autumn's here. The whole group, Silas, Borealis, Barney, Squeaky, gathers food from the mountain. They prepare this big feast together by the river. It's very symbolic. They're literally sharing the bounty of the environment they've worked so hard to protect and understand.
And celebrating their weird little family.
Absolutely. The book makes it explicit. Family is about shared love, working together, being there for each other, not just who you're related to by blood. And even while gathering for the feast, they're shown saving little creatures, helping fragile lives. So the feast isn't just about taking. It's about gratitude, reinforcing their shared duty to the mountain and each other. It's a joyful confirmation of this unique, resilient, interspecies community they've built.
Looking back across these books, then, you really see Duff building this whole worldview. It's an invitation for kids to explore, to value friendship, to listen to nature. It seems perfectly designed to nurture imagination, kindness, and respect for the environment.
I think so. It's more than just love nature.
Yeah.
It gives kids a specific, actionable model for how to engage with it. We talked about how abstract ideas become real actions, right? Teamwork is building that dam. Gratitude is preparing the feast. Empathy is finding shelter for the grumpy bear. Duff makes complex things like ecological balance and social responsibility feel manageable and fun through these adventures.
Which brings us to our final thought for you, listening. Something to maybe chew on. Think about Silas. This whole story arc is about him finding family, finding fulfillment. But he doesn't find it by looking for more people like himself. He finds it by opening up to the needs of the non-human world around him. The animals, the mountain itself. He listened.
Right. So the question for you is this. What are the unexpected challenges or figures in your own life? You know, the grumpy bears needing help, the lost moose calves needing care. Could they actually be invitations, opportunities to maybe redefine what family or community or even fulfillment looks like for you? If you look beyond the usual places and maybe listen to those less obvious voices.